Dragonese! Wow, I already messed up. Aren't I a winner? Dragon Age is a trilogy of popular fantasy RPG games, and one of my personal favorite games of all time, sitting there at the top of my list. The Dragon Age world is filled with many mystical things, some that are simple and others that are a little more complex, to the point where they can't be explained. While Origins was rather straightforward in its plot, there really wasn't much to leave to the imagination. However, that all changed in the second game. Little bits of mystery started to emerge within the plot, and among those strange obscurities took form in the character of Sandal Fedek. Sandal and his father Bodan are encountered rather early in the Origins campaign. After saving them from some bandits, you have the option to recruit them as the camp's resident merchant. From the beginning, Sandal is introduced as an idiot savant, and that is exactly what he is. He seems to have a mental deficiency. He doesn't act or speak quite like normal, but he makes up for it with his incredible enchantment skills, in which he had no training in. Sandal and Bodan are encountered once again in Dragon Age 2. After you rescue Sandal from the Deep Roads and return him to his father, the two work for Hawk to pay him for the good deed. But the thing is, there's just something a little more about Sandal than is revealed. Bodan believes Sandal's keenness towards enchanting comes from Illyrium exposure from the Deep Roads, where Bodan found him abandoned. Dwarves can do rune crafting and enchanting, but it takes years and years of work, of which Sandal has none. Mage Tranquils are also known for their prowess in the field, but Sandal is not a Tranquil, and dwarves cannot be mages. He also mentions that the Circle of Magi were very interested in his son, to the point where he feared they would try and keep him either for study or to use his abilities. It's clear that he's special, but as Dragon Age 2 progresses, it's easy to suspect that he's more special than just a lyrium-addled savant. There are a few theories that try to explain him. Some are ridiculous, but others are very plausible. In Dragon Age 2, when you first meet Sandal after he wandered off during the Deep Roads expedition, he is surrounded by a horde of dead Darkspawn. When asked how he did it, he simply says, enchantment. However, to his left there is an ogre, frozen solid. In question about it, he states, not enchantment. If not an enchantment, how did Sandal freeze that ogre? Well, who else in the franchise can freeze things? Mages. Dwarves are resistant to magic, however, and can't be mages, because of their long exposure to lyrium. So there's no possible way that Sandal could be a mage, unless Sandal isn't a full dwarf. Perhaps Sandal was actually fathered by a mage human. Human-dwarf offsprings are very, very rare, considering that sleeping with any other race is frowned upon by the dwarves, in addition to their faltering fertility. Had a dwarf girl of caste done so, however, she would have been shunned for mothering a son who would be casteless since his father was a human. A child takes its parents' caste depending on what gender it is, meaning a boy would take his father's and a girl her mother's. This practice is shown in Origins side mission Zerlinda's Woe, in which a mother who bore the son of a casteless man was abandoned by the father and sent away into Dusttown, because her family did not want a casteless child as part of it. She was instructed by her father to leave the child in the Deep Roads, but she refused. Sandal's mother could have been threatened with the same ultimatum as Zerlinda, in which she complied, leaving Sandal alone in the Deep Roads to be found by Bodan. It is possible that Sandal inherited his father's magical abilities, and his human side gave him access to such. However, since he was still part dwarf, maybe they were suppressed in such a way to somewhat mimic that of a tranquil mage. It's notable to back this theory up with Sandal's appearance. Sandal doesn't exactly look like the other dwarves in the series. Dwarves have very strong features. They're hard and broad. Most males of the race have very wide jaws and large noses, with faces covered in beards. They're short and stocky. Sandal, on the other hand, has much more gentle features and no facial hair at all. His jawline and nose are much smaller than most of his kind. He is also a lot thinner than the others, and as it seems, a bit taller. During Dragon Age 2, Sandal may occasionally note that he sees a scary old lady at the end of his bed. And while her appearance is debatable between theories, it is possible that perhaps she is a demon, or that he is dreaming. Either way, dwarves cannot dream, and would most certainly not be sought by demons, considering that, just like with magic, they are not connected to the Fade, where you are brought during your dreams, due to their lyrium exposure. If Sandal was seeing one of these two things, that means that he would have to have a connection to the Fade, which would only be obtainable through a mixed-race gene, and he would only be desired by a demon if he was a mage. In truth, there's not many half-human, half-dwarves in the series. Well, there's none. And there's certainly no dwarven mages. So it's very plausible. One would not know how it would work out. This theory is the most logical to me. But I still find some things Sandal says to be very odd even for a mage. One quote in particular supports this.
One day the magic will come back. All of it. Everyone will be just like they were. The shadows will part, and the skies will open wide.
Huh? What's this?
When he rises, everyone will see.
By the ancestors, what's gotten into you, my boy?
Enchantment?
That's more like it.
He says that the sky will open wide, and that he will rise. Sound familiar? That's because that is basically the plot for Dragon Age Inquisition, the third game in the series. The sky opens wide with a giant tear in the Fade where many demons and spirits spill from. He, that is mentioned, is Corypheus, the antagonist of Inquisition and an ancient Darkspawn Magister. This, to me, is seriously interesting because it's so prophetic. He basically tells the future. How? Even if he was a mage, mages don't have premonitions. They aren't going to accomplish such a feat. Not even Morrigan, who is a mage that is incessantly knowledgeable and holds many old magical secrets, does not have this skill. There is one person in the series who seems to always know what is ahead, and that is Flemeth. In Dragon Age 2, after releasing Flemeth from the amulet, she offers a bit of a cryptic warning that Sandal's is reminiscent of.
Before I go, a word of advice. We stand upon the precipice of change. The world fears the inevitable plummet into the abyss. Watch for that moment, and when it comes, do not hesitate to leap. It is only when you fall that you learn whether you can fly.
However, Flemeth is unique because not only is she a powerful mage, but within her she holds a fragment of the elven goddess Mythal. The piece of her offers insight that no other creature has, no other creature except Sandal. So what if Sandal is the host to something godly as well? What if something similar to the dark ritual from the end of Origins that took the soul from the archdemon and placed it into Morrigan's child happened to Sandal? Could in some way he have the soul of some lost divine being to be held within him? I'm not sure. What I do know is that Sandal is a very unique character. And there is most certainly something else about him. Whether he be a mage or a god in disguise, it is unknown. But there is certainly something planned for him. With Sandal and Bodon, two trope characters, noticeably absent from Inquisition, is there something big leading up to this reveal? I feel as if this will be revealed in the next Dragon Age. In time, one of the most mysterious characters of the series will be revealed. But until then, guys, Like, comment, subscribe for more theories and creepypasta readings. I'm Midnight Siren, and I will see you guys next time.